Welcome to This Week in Entertainment News. Our first look at the Amazon Rings of Black Power was released this week. Ready to respond to the fans that they hate, mainstream media was all set to tell you why you are racist for having any questions on why they went with this casting. In related news, Big Swede Dolph Lundgren has been cast as the new Black Panther. Good for you, Dolph. Moonfall, Roland Emmerich's latest disaster movie, is that in more ways than one. A box office tragedy of epic proportions when this movie, with a $146 million budget, made a cool $9 million on its opening weekend. Ouch. This was just after Emmerich commented that all movies are the same these days, saying, quote, "Because naturally, Marvel and DC Comics and Star Wars have pretty much taken over. It's ruining our industry a little bit because nobody does anything original anymore. You should make bold new movies. And I think Christopher Nolan is the master of that. He is someone who can pretty much make movies about whatever he wants. I have it a little bit harder, but I still have a big enough name, especially when it's a disaster movie or some sort of disaster theme." Well, Roland, I think you took the disaster theme a little too seriously. You've pretty much made the same one-note movie genre that peaked in 1998. You know, you might want to take your own advice. Speaking of disasters, The Matrix Resurrections did so poorly that the makers are suing Warner Brothers. Apparently, just putting it out on HBO Max means people don't have to actually go pay money for a movie they weren't that excited for in the first place. Seeing this loss, Village Roadshow, the studio behind Resurrections, claimed Warner Brothers facilitated piracy and drove down in-theater demand. Well, since it lost so much, they will probably lose the rights to the franchise because they can't pay Warner their contractual payments. Warner, you got nothing on the Mafia. Of course, maybe if Village Roadshow had made a better movie. I don't know. This doesn't exactly help their case that it sucks so bad. In international news, China, showing a remarkable amount of self-awareness, changed the ending of Fight Club so that the authorities win. Those of you who haven't seen Fight Club, it's the heartwarming story of an insane lunatic with a multiple personality disorder who decides to blow up the authoritarian corporations that are sucking out our humanity. Turns out they were onto something, and China, making a decision that's caused the Picard facepalm all across the world, decided to stop the movie just before all the buildings blow up, with a title card proclaiming, "Through clues provided by Tyler, the police rapidly figured out the whole plan and arrested all criminals successfully, preventing Tyler's plan for mass destruction." I don't understand why we're stucking up to these morons. China did revert the changes due to backlash, which is surprising. Wonder if the Uyghurs could start getting a break now. From the No One Cares pile, the Oscars were announced this week. I'm rooting for Dune and could care less about anything else. Can't wait to see the free Harvey Weinstein signs Meryl Streep is going to hold up for the cameras. She loves them rapists. Speaking of awards, Bruce Willis has done so much non-work this year that he rates his own category in the Razzies. The nominees for the worst performance of Bruce Willis in a movie are Bruce Willis, American Siege, Bruce Willis, Apex, Bruce Willis, Cosmic Sin, Bruce Willis, Deadlock, Bruce Willis, Fortress, Bruce Willis, Midnight in the Switchgrass, Bruce Willis, Out of Death, Bruce Willis, Survive the Game. Cross your fingers he wins! And finally, with the Book of Boba Fett finishing up, the title character pretty much exiting his own show by the last 3 episodes, we look forward to Kenobi coming on May 25th, where it will tell the story of Salacious Crumb for 6 episodes and Kenobi will cameo at the end. That's all the news for this week, and we will see you, hopefully, next week.